This is ranking Patrik Pietschmann's covers in order of insanity part 10. If you haven't watched the other videos, there will be a link in the description, so you can watch them all down there. But as it stands, we currently have 82 out of around 111 covers. I think that might have changed recently. I think he's added a few more. But yeah, we've done 82. We have 8 more today, so we'll bring it up to 90. We only have a few videos left now, so not too many to go. Let's get straight into it. First piece we are going to be looking at is a piece called Binary. This is one of his recent compositions. I have not seen it yet, so let's get straight into it. First of all, I just want to say that the visual effects that Patrik Pietschmann has been using in his videos have only got better. If you look at videos sort of 10 years ago and you compare them to 5 years ago and then to now, I think this has something to do with his background in I think software and sort of tech. I think the software he uses for his videos he made himself. In terms of the piece, very repetitive melodic ideas are used. It's the same melody repeated in different keys and different octaves. This effectively means that once you've learnt the pattern for one key center, moving it up is only a matter of just getting used to the new notes. You do have some complex syncopation a little bit later on between hands. In terms of ranking, I think it's pretty similar to pieces in the low-medium tier, so pieces like Arrival of the Birds or Arrival to Earth from Transformers. I think I'll put it in low-medium tier behind Arrival to Earth. Just another thing, I have reset the tier list just because we had 82 other thumbnails on the same tier list and it was starting to get quite complicated. So it has been reset, so when I rank them in here, I'll put them into the Excel document afterwards and I'll show you where exactly they are. The next piece we're going to be looking at is Empire of Angels, and this is by Thomas Bergersen. I know Thomas Bergersen has done a lot of work with Two Steps from Hell. You know, a lot of his music is soundtrack based and generally quite dark themes. So that's what I'm going to expect from this piece. But yeah, let's give it a listen. As expected, it has a very simple melody, but very, very powerful chords. You have the usual octave melody, that's seen in pretty much every one of his covers. An arpeggiated melody with, you have the embedded melody with the filler notes and all of that at 1 minute 30. That's also pretty typical. Really difficult sections around 2 minutes 14 and 4 minutes 30. At 2 minutes 14, you have the double octave left hand arpeggios, and the section at 4:30, it's one of my favourite sections out of all of his covers. One of my favourite sections. It does have a lot of hard syncopation though, so learning it can be a challenge, but it is absolutely beautiful. The energy is just perfect. ranking then, I'm thinking around hard tier. The piece reminds me quite a little bit of Jurassic Park. I think the left hand parts are quite similar. A lot of arpeggiated runs and so on. So yeah, I think I'll put it in hard tier, just behind Jurassic Park. The next piece we're looking at is from Top Gun. This is Maverick. There are two types of harmony mainly used in this piece. You have the chords played in the right hand, but they're either played over the pedal note, which I think is C, or it's played with the roots of the right hand chords in the left hand. And it gives this sort of sense of variation, but it also builds a sort of grand feeling to the piece. If you imagine pieces like How to Train Your Dragon, like very epic like pieces, especially the part with Test Drive, is built over that D pedal note that stays through the whole thing until you get to that main chorus section. When it breaks off into that powerful chordal harmony, it in a way emphasizes that emotion, right? It brings out that grand feeling. But in terms of difficulty though, it's not hard. It is one of those pieces that sounds a lot more involved than it really is. So I think for those reasons, I'll put it in around medium tier, low end, behind Dune 2. The next piece we're looking at is another one from Star Wars. It is Battle of the Heroes. Like with most of the Star Wars pieces, it starts with a very dark harmony, a lot of dissonance, some very strange and weird syncopation, especially around 1:40. There is a reference to Duel of Fates at 2 minutes, which is quite cool. It's just played with a pedal note instead of the harmonized chords. It feels very dissonant and very strange, and I think that's really reflective of what's going on in the film at that time. Yeah, in terms of ranking, I want to say it's similar to Schindler's List and some others in medium, in the middle of medium tier, but I think Schindler's List is a little bit more technical than the Battle of Heroes. The next piece we're looking at is His Dark Materials. Not exactly sure where this piece was from. So if you know, let me know down in the comments. Haven't seen it before, so let's get straight into it. Harmony for this one is really strange. It's sort of dark but also hopeful at the same time, and I think this has something to do with the balance of major and minor chords. It never stays stagnant, it always moves between minor sections into major, back to minor. There's some difficult left hand motion with the right hand melody, of course. Once again, it's standard. It is also really repetitive. It's the same melody, basically just repeated. The section at around 2:14 to the end is extremely difficult, like very, very difficult. So I think you won't struggle really before 2 minutes, but after 2 minutes you might find some challenges. And just because of that section at the end, I think it will be near a hard tier, nearer the top end of hard tier. Yeah, but it's a section after 2:14 that really does bump it up. I'm going to rank it hard tier behind Let It Go, but let me know what you guys think. I trust you more than I trust myself. The next piece we're going to look at is Tenet. This is a really cool piece. I didn't think I'd like it so much, but it starts with a really well-known chord progression. It's sort of majestic but evil at the same time. Like, it gives that sort of like majesty but also darkness. And I really like it for that. And the bulk of the piece is really in this beautiful melody that's just singing over the top of this harmony. And it's perfectly balanced. I think without the sort of rhythm in the left hand, the piece would get very wishy-washy. There wouldn't be much structure to it. But the left hand keeps it based and keeps it in tempo. There is some high pitch variation right at the end, but it is at a pretty relaxed tempo, and it is a similar pattern to what you've seen with the left hand all the way through. So in terms of ranking, I think I'd say it's an easy tier, just below Interstellar. I think Interstellar has a few more harder sections than this piece. The next piece we're going to look at is No Time to Die by Billie Eilish. This one was pretty highly requested. I have seen this in quite a few of my comments. Begins with an epic chord progression. I mean, you wouldn't expect anything less from a James Bond movie, of course. The main octave melody is a little bit jumpy, but it roughly stays within a fifth. So playing octaves, of course, the bigger the jumps, the harder it's going to be, right? The embedded melodies which feature in this arrangement are at a very relaxed tempo. So because of that, I'm not going to rank them too highly, because the tempo is pretty slow. I think I'm going to rank it in medium tier, just below Annie's Ballad. The last piece we're looking at is another one from Star Wars. It is Imperial March. I think pretty much everyone on this planet knows the theme to this song, so it doesn't need much introduction. Absolutely iconic melody. I'm thinking high medium tier, sort of around Requiem for a Dream.